How can we rebuild? How can we rejig? How can we ensure that we create support systems that will help to stabilize the security situation in the state? All right. So we're rejigging support for security agencies in Lagos, the LSSTF intervention. And my guest, no stranger to the microphone, he's been around, like I said, Dr. Abdurrazaq Balogun is Executive Secretary, Lagos State Security Trust Fund. Nice to have you back in the studios. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And you're welcome back to Traffic Radio.
Thank you very much.
Great. All right. So perhaps the most convenient point to begin this conversation really is the outcome of what really turned really sour on our mouths when we talk about the darkest period of Lagos, where hoodlums hijacked a peaceful protest, and that led to the destruction of public assets and private properties as well. So as we speak, Dr. Balogun, what has been the impact of these acts on the security apparatus of the state? Any colossal damage of the security apparatus and your facilities?
Oh, thank you very much for having me. I mean, this is very obvious across the city and across the state. What we're experiencing right now is something that, has long gone in Lagos State in the last 15 years. And so the outcome of that is, having law enforcement agencies off the streets of Lagos. Even our own state apparatus, last mile, and all those law enforcement to have left the streets. And so you can see the chaos and the traffic and all whatnot that is happening in the state. So that the outcome of the event really dampened the morale of police officers and law enforcement agencies, and they led to a lot of destructions of their assets. Most particularly their stations, that is their workplace, and also their patrol vehicles and all necessary equipments needed to police and secure us seriously. Very well in the state.
Right.
So it is a very
big loss indeed.
Big loss.
Colossal one indeed. All right. So as you are talking about even their facilities, the place of abode where they stay, I know you deal with them a whole lot, and that's what your agency, what you do in terms of the destruction. How many police facilities were destroyed? Can we have a figure to that?
Yes. If you listen to this commissioner of police when the governor visited the police command to commiserate with them and also to boost their morale, he mentioned that about 28 police stations across the state were fully burnt.
Wow. About
18 vandalized totally, completely. And over 60 to 70 patrol vehicles fully burnt beyond recognition, right, including very expensive equipment, what we call the armored personnel carriers, which I can say that Lagos State is probably the only state in Nigeria that has the amount of numbers we have in Lagos. 4 of them were also burnt. Wow. Beyond recognition. So it was a lot of damage, a lot of loss to
and this is destruction that runs into billions of naira, right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, an APC knife, you have to procure one. Some of them we've been maintaining and ensuring that it's kept in shape since 2008. Some of them since 2011. And as I speak, due to inflation and devaluation of our currency, each of those equipments, you have to replace them now. You need nothing less than 250 million naira per vehicle. Wow. So it tells you the quantum of damage and the quantum of need that the state requires to get these folks back on the street.
And I'm so glad to have you in the studio this morning, because like I said, even though we started the conversation last week on how we can rejig and probably get some levels of support, your agency have been providing that for over a decade. So definitely you will have a clearer picture of what this will look like. So in terms of getting the police back to where it was before this hoodlums attack, to the extent of how much we will be needing, what's the need assessment going to be looking like for us to get them back?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we must realize that every equipment or every procurement we make for our police officers, most of them are imported. They're not manufactured in Nigeria. So we're going to be needing a lot of foreign exchange to acquire those things, and ultimately a lot of naira to do that. It's huge. We're still taking stock.
Okay.
Because don't forget, what we see right now are the physical things, the software, the computers, those assets that are really unseen are usually the most expensive assets that they have. I don't know what has happened to their armory. I don't know what has happened to their to quite a number of things that they use that we may not even know as civilians. So, but what we can see physically and the way we have been supporting them, I can tell you is a huge colossal loss.
Right. So let's break this down now. For those who might not really understand what you guys do at Lagos State Security Trust Fund, just take some little time to explain this to my listener and where you guys come in, because they might be wondering why I'm bringing you to the studio this morning. I have said there's a bigger connection where LSSTF comes in and how we all can support. But talk to my listener this morning, your mandate and what you guys do.
Yes, Lagos State Security Trust Fund was founded in 2007 by the law of Lagos State Government Assembly, and the main reason for the creation then was because of the lack of security in Lagos State at that time, and an extensive research was done, and bringing together men and women who are knowledgeable in the space of security. And the number one conclusion was the fact that our security agencies are under-resourced, they are underfunded. And for us to have a very robust security in the state, which the state government realizes that there's a direct correlation between security and prosperity and advancement in the state, that trust fund was created. And the main purpose and objective of that trust fund is to provide money for the acquisition and deployment of security equipment and such human, material, and financial resources that shall be found necessary for the effective functioning of all federal, state, local government, and other security agencies operating in the state. And part of the fund shall be reserved for the training and retraining of security personnel. Those are the primary objectives of that trust fund. And it is a public-private partnership arrangement. 80% of our members of the board of trustees are from the private sector. The whole idea is for them to use their clout and their personality to attract funding, and also to make the fund very, very accountable, transparent, and to ensure that all monies or all resources that are gotten are also judiciously spent.
And how many security operatives do you guys support with all this funding and equipment?
Every federal security agency in Nigeria is under the exclusive list of our constitution. In other words, the federal government is responsible, but in Lagos State, we support all various security agencies that we have in the state. But particularly, you will see the Rapid Response Squad as somewhat quite different from the rest, because though all their needs and their resources are directly from the Security Trust Fund. The rest are, occasional support here and there. And I think in the last 13 years of the creation of that fund, we have seen that there's no other way for us to support our agencies than this initiative. And in the last couple of years, almost all state governments of the federation have come to Lagos to understudy and copy our model. I don't know how successful they've been in their various states.
And
also the federal government, as I speak, just passed the Police Trust Fund Act, which is more or less like taking a cue from Lagos State Security Trust Fund. So I think over the years we have tried to perform that role. Our model is voluntary donations. So this is the reason why this is a very auspicious time for us, is that this is a time that Lagos State government cannot do it alone. Every hand has to be on deck. We know we've lost so many things. People have died. We pray for their souls. We commiserate with the people that have lost a lot of valuable things. But what is left, we must also try to salvage it. We don't have any other police force or security agencies than the ones we have. We're all Nigerians. And so we say the population that we have in Lagos State, 21 million people
and
counting, with the amount of corporations, 65% of Nigeria's corporations are in Lagos. 60% of small and medium enterprises are in Lagos. So if everybody at this time, we call everyone to play their part. It is quite important now, because we're in the Yuletide season. We're entering the Yuletide season. We also expect that we must keep the city safe. So we're not going to be dampened. And
I love the spirit that you just said now, because we cannot afford to allow the security operatives to have a dampened spirit, perhaps a demoralized spirit, as the case may be. But what kind of support, in terms of specifics, do you guys give to these security agencies?
Oh, we do everything. I mean, like I said, the resources are never enough. Remember that security expenditure is recurrent, is expensive. Most of our assets are imported. But what we do is to, support them with the physical things people see, but the intangible ones. So, for instance, I'm sure a lot of people will not look at how important it is during the rainy season for police officers to have rain gears and boots. These are very, very intangible things, but these are things that are very necessary.
Right.
Again, people talk about vehicles here and there, but they forget that acquiring vehicles are not as difficult or expensive as maintaining those vehicles. So those things that we don't see are the things that we do. Every quarter we service our fleet, and so you see a lot of our fleets still working despite the years of use.
Right.
And we training again is a very, very important aspect of what we do. We ensure that our security officers, particularly the IRS, are trained and retrained, and that's why you see the civility and the kind of outlook that the rapid response have.
Right.
You see them helping Lagosians on the street, escorting them to or even buying petrol for them when they run out of gas on the street. This is the orientation that we have tried to imbibe in a democratic setting, and so we render support to all agencies of government in the state, including Nigerian Prison Service. I'm sure people wonder, why do you assist in the Nigerian Prison Service?
In fact, I'm surprised that you're mentioning that now.
Imagine during the last riot or
the mob action
that happened in Lagos. Imagine we didn't secure our prisons. What do you think would have happened? We may have had a jailbreak in Lagos, and that would be very disastrous.
That's true.
So this is what we do, and we continue to tell Lagosians that the Lagos State Security Trust Fund is an accountable, transparent organization. It is an organization that is audited every year. I make bold to say that as a government agency, our audit for 2019 is ready. It's already on our website. Since inception from 2007 to 2019, our audit is on our website. So it tells you how transparent we are, and we also render our stewardship. On a yearly basis, the governor will come and speak to Lagosians about his security plans for the year, and we at the Trust Fund also render stewardship for Lagosians to see that all the donations they make are judiciously spent and are well accounted for.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. I have with me in the studio the Executive Secretary for the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, and I'm talking about Dr. Abdurrazaq Balogun. Of course, I'll allow you to join the conversation very, very shortly and see where we all can connect. But Dr. Balogun, we are now in the healing process. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
And I'm talking rebuilding and rejigging and probably providing support must start with the healing process. So how can we do that within our communities? That was a question I was asking on Saturday. But from the LSSTF perspective, how can we do that?
You see, when we speak about support, it's not only financial support. You find associations, for instance, you can have psychologists, sociologists come together to say they want to give a pep talk to our police officers. That is a support.
Right.
You can have professionals in different endeavor. Even lawyers come together and say they want to assist with their intellectual ability. You can have auto dealers in the state as an association come together and say, you know what, we want to donate 15 vehicles because this is what we sell anyways.
Right.
We want to donate. So there's so many things that people can do. For instance, every Christmas, for instance, I always reach out to manufacturers of products, edible products, to donate to the trust fund. And when it comes like that, I extend it to the rapid response squad, and you see the happiness and the joy. Because you see, we must realize one thing, that our police officers are also Nigerians. They have kids, they have families, and also their families want them coming home alive.
Right.
So we must do everything that is important. I ask the question, how many of us when we're throwing a party or throwing parties in our houses, remember to take some to our local police station? We must start to imbibe that culture. And the fact that thinking that everything we have to leave it to government is almost impossible. This is a government that has been consistent. The security and governance is part of the themes agenda of our governor, and we're following it to the letter. What is very important is that we have friends of Lagos, we have residents of Lagos, we have indigenes of Lagos. Every single Nigerian has a stake in this city and Lagos. So,
and taking it from there and also connecting with that, how can we also ensure, because I know, like I said, you guys are responsible for providing this equipment courtesy of the fund, but how can we also help the police protect this equipment? I mean, if some people could come to the community and decide to burn down a police station without the community offering any form of resistance, that means there's a kind of love lost.
No, I mean, I think we should not take this as an isolated case. This has happened. I mean, like any incident that happens, what we must do is to take a back seat, appraise the situation and try to, move on from there and make things better.
Right.
This has never happened before, so I'm sure a lot of people are taken unawares. This has never happened before. But you see, now that it has happened, I'm sure we'll start to do things very differently. I'm very, very sure now that our local governments will now start to engage much more. We'll start to have this camaraderie with our, security agencies at the local level and engage people from time to time. And I know that, I mean, even before this event, a lot has been going on between the state government, a lot of, innovations. We have the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, where government seeds money to help and assist upcoming entrepreneurs. So there's a lot going on, but I think we'll do a holistic appraisal. That is what any reasonable person would do. Even if you had an issue in your own home too, you probably take an appraisal and say, what did we do wrong? And then we'll correct it and we'll move on from there.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Abdurrazaq, that's Dr. Abdurrazaq Balogun is my guest. He's Executive Secretary for the Lagos State Security Trust Fund. And I'm going to allow you to also join the conversation right now. But let me let you know, if you're navigating through Eko Bridge, there's a broken down at Primero bus. That's a high capacity bus on Eko Bridge. This is inwards Costain. And they're trying to see how they can get that off as quickly as possible. LRU, let's see if you can rise to the occasion and help restore that. Equally, another high capacity bus broken down by Ikeja along inwards National. It's really affecting the flow of traffic within that particular location. You need to watch out for that. Lagos, that's talking about Ikorodu Road. It's a busy but steady movement being experienced at the moment, all the way from the runabout proceeding to Agric, Ogolonto, Itawolu, and of course mile 12 down to Ojota. Slow and steady movement experienced within that location. Okay then, so let's have your say on the program as well and see where you can come in. Before that, quickly, Dr. Balogun, how can we all be part of this? We're talking about rejigging support systems for the security agencies. So how can people plug into this?
Like I said earlier, we can plug in various manners and ways. At office, is in Ikeja here. Our website is, for all information, you can get it from our website, lsstf.lagostate.gov.ng, lsstf.lagostate.gov.ng. All the information required is there. I also say that we have accounts in all commercial banks in Nigeria.
Okay.
So people can step in. Most of us also have accounts. We can step in, ask for account details, and you can also transfer whatever you want to do.
All right.
Also, as we said, we also accept donations in kind. This is the time that we need a lot of donations. It's not just, like I said, 21 million population is huge. And so despite the fact that, yes, we have lost a lot, even psychologically, that cannot be quantified, we still need to salvage and rejig our architecture in Lagos State.
All right. Let's get to let's extend the conversation beyond the studio now and also hear from our people out there. Of course, we're talking about our support systems for the police. But talk to me. Hello there. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning.
Victor.
Musba, you're back. Yes.
Yeah, you have Ambassador Musba here.
Okay.
Now, I thank Lagos. Traffic is the opportunity this morning. Now, I'm not sure that traffic conscious in Lagos there. Yeah, I have to be corrected if I'm wrong. We are not, because now you talk about trust fund now. Sometimes during the speaker of Lagos State, the Re-jigging, we sponsor a bill at that time that all the petrol stations in Lagos State that must have a contribution, large one, to security trust fund. And I promise that you go to look into it. I don't know, maybe I promise they have been doing that. You need to tell us now.
No, they haven't been doing that, actually.
About the CDA, about all the CDA, you need to come down here. We are doing a lot of enlightenment here. Look, we are sitting on gunpowder. Because let's talk about what happened, the blue ones. They are living among us. What are we doing? That's why we are not security conscious. We need to do something. We need more enlightenment from your management, please. Thank you.
Okay, then. Thank you so much. About the Musda from Mushi is looking at ways of how the Security Trust Fund can equally come up with more or less like advocacy to the communities. All right. Let me see if I can just put all the calls together. Let's do that, right? So that we can allow you to respond as well. Hello there. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
All right. What's your name?
This is Ola calling from the Third Milan Bridge.
Collins from Third Milan Bridge.
Yeah. Sorry, I want to put a note. I think we just have to be security conscious. What happened at Ekumo? There are a lot of hoodlums opposite them, and we see them. We pass all day. We see them. When you come to the Lubirin, I need you towards Obalende. You see them at night. When your vehicle is broken down, you see hoodlums coming from left and right under the bridge. So these are things that we should look at. Even when you look at Adeniji itself or Ibanji, you see a lot of guys over there, 10, 14 years old, smoking weed, doing a lot of things. I think it's high time we try to be security conscious about our environment, and if they can create a platform that reports about things going on in the area, come to K22.
Okay.
Same thing. So it's very good if they can create a platform that everybody can contribute, maybe monthly, weekly, of what you see in your environment. Because I feel prevention is better than cure.
All right. So that's for information. But what about the kind of support in terms of supporting some of these equipment that they need? Will you guys be willing to also see how you seed some money?
Feeling. Because in Lagos. So when these guys are equipped and they have information is.
Oh, all right. Your line is not very, very clear, but thank you so much for your concern. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM 0809 912 0777. Let's see if we can still put the calls together. We're talking about support systems, talking about how to rejig the police in Lagos, especially now that we need to rekindle their confidence and ensure that they perform optimally. What's your own take? And how can we help this work out effectively right here in Lagos? If you have a say, or perhaps you want to talk to the executive secretary, feel free to join us. Good morning.
My name is Balogun.
All right, you need to speak up a bit. Your name is? Adedotun. Where are you calling from? Adedotun, your line is not very clear. I don't know what's happening, but let's see. Go ahead. Oof, it's a very bad connection. We'll try and see how we can clean that up. Adedotun, you need to reconnect with us if you can. But anyway you are, feel free to link up with us. We're talking of how best to, rekindle confidence in the police. Hello there. All right, guess we lost that one too. Network very, very poor. Talk to me. Hello there.
Oh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, what's your name?
Yeah, Adebayo is my name.
Adebayo.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Like the last speaker said, we have to be conscious of our environment. There are a lot of things that is happening in our environment and we don't even put eye on them. And at the end of the day, that is what is causing us a lot of problems. But there are some areas where you see those guys. Some of them, they are selling drugs in an open place. And people are living around there. People will be passing. Nobody is saying anything. You just see it as a normal thing. Which is not supposed to be.
All right,
if
so
we want to support the security, when we are supporting the security with what we have, we must still support the security in kind.
okay.
These are kind of the information that we have to be giving all the security officers so that at least they can secure us in the way we want. So that's my own take.
All right, then. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so let's get back. It appears a lot of people are looking for that platform where they can always get that information across to the security operators. What's your take on that?
I think the platforms are everywhere. But like the callers said, I'm not sure about the consciousness of a lot of our citizens. Like he said, we always say that if you see something, say something.
All right.
There are lots of platforms now that you can disseminate information that will be confidential. that you don't have to, even say where you're calling from. But beyond that, I think we must realize that security is a collective responsibility, and that every crime is local. So, for instance, all the things they're talking about now, these things exist in various locations in the state. So it is important that, like they said, we should take it very seriously. But moving forward, again, there's massive population in this state, and so
let me speak and just quickly sneak this in before we wrap up this on the program. Hello,
good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, my name is I'm CS Yola Nkaiboemi.
That's the Chairman Task Force,
or rather Chairman Task Force.
All right, thank you for connecting with us.
Hello, sir.
I appreciate you. God bless you. Please, I just wanted to help us pass this information.
Okay.
Further to the offenders of BRT, that our men are out already.
Okay.
In the next 1 hour, we are going to shake that entire route. That's the corridor. So they should, in their own interest, they should desist from flying that route or flying wrong way. Or any moment from now, they will hear from us.
Great.
That's just my message.
All right, then. Thank you very much. We're talking about restoring sanity to the roads, and Chairman Olayinka Egbeyemi, who's the Chairman Task Force, is calling, and of course, he's warning those of you that are in the habit of making use of the BRT lane or perhaps driving against the flow of traffic. We're talking about the Mile 12 corridor that has been happening over the weekend. He says his men are going to be doing mop-up action any moment from now. That's great. Thank you so much for that. So, in taking this home, Dr. Balogun, let's begin to look at how we all can plug in. What are the things that are needed? What should we be doing in the communities? And how can we really provide that support to LSSTF?
Yeah, like I said, this has gone beyond LSSTF now. Let us look at it as a collective responsibility, something that we all will benefit from. I mean, LSSTF is just a platform that has been saddled with this responsibility. But as we speak now, it has gone beyond that. We need every hand to be on deck to support Lagos State. There's so much to do, so much to build. The governor has been everywhere, assessing, all the aftermath of what has happened. A lot of buildings have been burnt down. A lot of reconstruction would have to be done. So when we come to security space that is, synonymous with all of us, we all do need this one way or the other. Right. If anything happens now, you still have to call the police to try and assist. Right. So we need to all come together. Like I said, we have the population, we have the highest high net worth of people in this state, we have associations, market traders, SMEs. Those contributions will go a long way. And like I said earlier, it does not have to be in cash. Right. There are so many other ways people can assist. Look at the communication system now. If somebody decides that, I want to, build the security network, this communication network of our security agents, we'll welcome it wholeheartedly. So there's a lot that can be done that will require at this time. Like I said, all our details are on our website, and our phone number, if anybody needs to call the trust, is 0818 887 7669.
Let's take that again.
0818 877. I'll take that again. 0818 877.
Right.
No, sorry, I take that again.
Okay, all right.
0818 887 7669.
Okay, 887
7669. Yes.
All right. Then so we'll have to leave it at that. And your website again
is LSSTF. LSSTF.Lagos State. Lagos as in LAGOSSTATE. So 2S.
All right.
LagosState.gov.ng.
Okay then, Dr. Balogun, nice having you in the building. Thank you so much for making it through to the studio this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
And I hope that with all that you've said, that we'll be able to create some levels of confidence and rejig our police force for them to perform optimally. Thank you.
I can assure you that in the next couple of weeks, we'll be back on track in Lagos. So we are very resilient, a very boisterous state.
Right.
And we'll come back stronger and better.
Okay then, and that's the word. It's a word of assurance, back and better. that's good. That's the way it's going to be for our police and the security operatives in Lagos. But we have to go today. The program has been produced by Folashaji Adurimukadima Folashiri, adding support from the social media, and to our executive producer Tayo Akonle. Your Star Mirror will return tomorrow. But till then, let me say a big thank you to Adaobi Nwankwo, who is executive assistant to the LSSTF. Thank you for making this happen, and of course to you out there too for connecting with us. All right then, till then, this is Victor Terry. Have a great day. Bye.